The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
We learned a lot in the Jets green and white scrimmage, including some new wrinkles in the Jets offense. Today, film expert Andrew Fialkow is going to join us to break that down and much more. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started. Man, our Jets are primed for a historic season. We bleed Jets green each and every day. This is not the same old Jets. We have Aaron freaking Rodgers. We have Garrett Wilson. Let's go. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinnen Williams. The Jets bandwagon is loaded. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show. Here we go, Jets fans. Welcome in, everybody. Before we get started, please subscribe to this channel for daily Jets talk. If you're a Jet fan and you aren't subscribed just yet, please hit that subscribe button. And as always, please like the video. It helps the algorithm, helps more people discover the show. And we're always looking for more Asmaniacs to be a part of what we have going on here on the Jake Asman YouTube channel. A lot to cover with the Jets. They're on the practice field right now. They have a joint practice on Thursday against the Washington Commies. Jets will take on Washington Saturday at noon at MetLife Stadium for their first preseason game. So we're 10 days into camp after the off day yesterday. Jets had their scrimmage on Saturday, and joining us right now to talk all things New York Jets is one of our favorites, the great Andrew Fialkow of Jets X Factor. What's up, Andrew?
Not much, Jake. Excited it's August, and I'll be seeing you on Thursday also at the training camp. I can't wait. So just excited. We're so close, so close.
We are close. I will be there Wednesday and Thursday this week. We have our big event Wednesday night, Jet fans. There's a few spots left. If you want to RSVP with the link in the description, join me and Richie from Jets Media, Don Jose Mexican Restaurant in East Hanover, located about 15 minutes from the Jets training facility in Florham Park. It's going to be awesome. It's BYOB. We have a great menu, $25, fixed menu, appetizers included. It's going to be incredible. Can't wait to see so many Asmaniacs and fans of Richie's content Wednesday night. With that said, Andrew, I was at the scrimmage on Saturday, and I did not melt. Let me establish that, right? I was able to stick it out and get through the entire thing. I wish I had my bucket hat in time to wear on Saturday. That said, I noticed a lot of different things that I want to get your expert opinion on. So thanks to Ryan from Jets Talk, who filmed the entire thing and put it up on his YouTube channel, breaking down all the plays from the 1v1s. I think there's a lot of things that are worth covering. Before we actually get into specific film you want to show on your end, what to you stood out as you watch back the highlights from the scrimmage a bunch of times?
Just again, I'll go through all my notes, obviously, but I thought Jamie and Sherwood stood out to me. Definitely in coverage. Made multiple plays. I thought it was interesting to see the different personnel sets we were in. Seemed like we had 2 tight ends on the field a bit, 3 tight ends on the field a bit. We also went empty. Seemed like the D-line was winning a lot of the day because it felt like Rodgers was getting pressured a bit, but Rodgers also had his fair share of wins. Seemed like there was a good amount of miscommunications happening, whether between QB receiver or just the O-line in general. But on the plays where there weren't miscommunications, it seemed like success from Rodgers to mostly Garrett, sometimes Lazard. And then I had Lazard also was honestly showed up well to me in this scrimmage. Made a couple of nice contested catches that we'll go over. But I kind of alluded to this like a couple of months ago with you. I thought there was a chance that Lazard could be decent with Rodgers, and I think he's kind of proving that now. Nothing's happened yet, and I was the one, even myself, I said slow it down a bit on the hype train. But I think he could be decent. I think he's like become this like crazy thing to talk about. Where if he even catches a ball, it's insanity. But I think we have to just calm down, and if he's needed and Mike Williams is not there, I think he'll be able to play in this offense.
So one of the things I want to get into with you is the issues that Joe Tippmann is having right now, snapping the football, because I didn't think all his snaps were bad on Saturday, but the one that was the absolute killer was on the Jets' first drive that, instead of, I think it was like 2nd and 5, right around the goal line, it became like 3rd and 30, and then they ran a screen to Corley just to get them back into field goal range to salvage the drive that should have ended with a touchdown here. So I'm sure that's one of the plays that you have to go over. Before I pull that up specifically, you have stuff on your end, so we could start with screen sharing your stuff and kind of get into it. And as always, Jet fans, if you have questions for Andrew about anything, super chat it in, and we will bring it up on the screen, and we will answer it in real time. I want to give some love to M. King, who sent in a super chat. Jake and Fialkow, great start to the week. Hashtag Jet Up. And you're going to get Fialkow twice because he's going to come on with us on Thursday to share his observations, his big takeaways from the joint practice against the Commies after it concludes Thursday afternoon. But also, M. King getting it started early today, Andrew. How about a 5-spot of channel memberships before the show even started?
Money, 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 money.
Ladies and gentlemen, here are the 5 people who received a membership before we began. Rob Basil, who's always great at gifting memberships, he receives one. Xavier Bradley, R&R, Nate Bonifant, and Dan Rather. Congratulations to all the Asmaniacs this morning. So with that said, Andrew, you do the screen share on your end. We'll pull it up. And a reminder, if anyone has any questions about things specifically we're breaking down here, you let us know in the comments, and we'll do our best to cover it in real time. D-Rock has a super chat. Let me address the Hassan Reddick stuff because he's still not there as of this morning. I am not in a panic mode yet with Reddick. That said, by the end of this week, if he is not there, you start to get concerned about his effectiveness to begin the year. Not that I don't think he'll eventually sign, but if he doesn't get at least 3 weeks of a real training camp and real reps in this defense, I don't want him to come out of the gate lethargic, or potentially he's not in total football shape and he risks an injury. Right? Like Hassan Reddick's a pro. He'll take good care of himself. But I think it's one of those things, Andrew, you tell me if I'm wrong, where as good as you are, you still have to get into quote-unquote football shape and be ready to go when the season starts. And, if he's not signed by this game on Saturday, you're talking about 3 weeks until week 1.
Yeah, I agree with you. These are invaluable reps, obviously, with a team that he's not played on. Obviously, it's not as important as like a quarterback to be there to gain chemistry, or a receiver. But it's still important as a defensive line to have chemistry, running stunts, like just getting a feel for how each other rush. It's definitely important. You're just going to get thrown in there like week 1 with no reps. It would be a bad thing. So we do need him to show up at some point. I was hopeful that this was the week, honestly. This kind of felt like the week they were going to get it done to me. He's been fined over $500,000 now at this. Not even about the fines for him because he's a veteran, so he's been paid well. I think the Jets really need to just bite the bullet and give him the incentives that he wants and get the deal done so he could be here this year, and then talk about an extension during the year.
Hassan Reddick not here today. Fine total from training camp is at least $550,000. It's $50K per day, and it's possibly more if the Jets levied other fines against him that's allowed in the current CBA agreement. So he's been fined a lot. It hasn't affected him to this point, but everyone's got a price, as we know. So we'll continue to monitor the Hassan Reddick situation. All right, that said, Andrew, I can see your screen. You could go full screen on your end if that's helpful for you. Yep, that looks great. I'm going to put it up right now. I know you can't see it, but just know we can see everything that you're breaking down right now. So go ahead.
Awesome. Okay, so yeah, honestly, Jake sent me this. I went over all the plays that stood out to me. Just quickly, just wanted to see. I know the polls right here. This was what stood out to me. We ran the same formation, I think, the first couple of plays with YY axis. So this is tight end. I think that's, again, tough. But Rucker, and it should be Rucker and I can't tell who that is. Do you know who that is?
I would have to look.
Maybe it's Conklin and Rucker. I can't tell.
I can tell you just from you being there, the 2 tight ends by far that were featured the most in either 12 personnel or 22 personnel was clearly Conklin and Ruck. There was a little Yeboah on the third
Yep.
drive where he had a drop where Rodgers had like a Houdini-like escape. We'll get to that, I'm
Uh-huh.
sure. But
Yeah.
it was clearly those two as the main tight ends with the starters.
Right. Okay. So that makes sense. Conklin, Rucker, Brees, little pistol set, condensed formation. Lazard and Garrett, you can't see behind Lazard, but I thought this was a cool concept, honestly. You're gonna get Lazard on a little corner and then Garrett on a quick out route. Quick 3-step drop from Rodgers, gets the ball out quickly. The timing's there. Obviously, easy access. I don't think Sauce was playing this game in this practice, right?
Sauce was not practicing due to the personal reason. He arrived back at the facility early in the morning after attending a funeral for his friend. So no Reddick, no Sauce. And then offensively, no Morgan Moses, no Tyron Smith. So your starting offensive line from left to right was Olu, Simpson, Tippmann, AVT, and then Max Mitchell was the starting right tackle.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, well, just here, good to see Rodgers ball out right away. He's already releasing. Garrett's not even turned around. That's really important for me, just to find the little things of the chemistry. I know it's an easy access route, but this is going to be a play that they run a lot next year. So just one more time. It's just a pistol set, 2 tight ends to the boundary, to the field side, and then the Lazard and Garrett to the field side. And a good rep. Good to see the timing. That's really what we're looking for right now, the timing and the chemistry between them. Then again, next play, same formation. You're going to get a wide zone play here. So Rodgers, he actually almost like stumbles, I think, on this play to get the handoff. But really what I loved here was Olu. If we see Olu right here, he's going to climb to the second level on wide zone, and he seals off Quincy really well. And you could almost see Quincy at the end of the play. He was not happy with himself. But love seeing Olu getting to the second level and having this balance, because that's really what we were I was hoping to see, because everyone knows about his pass protection ability. Here he is climbing, hands on Quincy, sealing him, and then look at the hole he creates for Brees there. So Brees is going to be untouched basically until for the first 8 yards of the play. And good block by Olu there. So you like seeing that in wide zone, him getting to the second level. That's what you really want from your tackle play.
Completely agree. I thought Olu was impressive when I watched him. I thought he had a nice day. There were a couple times I thought maybe JJ won the rep against him, but that's Jermaine Johnson, a Pro Bowl player in year 3. Olu's a rookie. He's learning a new offense, new quarterback, new scheme, all on the fly.
Yep. So this one I wanted to show because it's just funny. I could just already envision this so quickly right when we get to the season. Although Rodgers should know our defense more than other defenses. Right here, if you're seeing things, okay, right away he's canning the play because he sees one high safety, a press coverage look, so he's guessing man, which he's seen it 400 times, so I'm guessing man with him. The safety, Tony Adams showing blitz, bails out. Now what you're going to end up getting, Rodgers going to flip him over again. What you're going to end up getting is this robber concept where I think Tony goes to play the middle of the field and Chuck Clark's going to rob this the middle of the field. Important because he's going to hit Garrett on this little drift swirl route where it's just a little in, and the timing on this play is so good. Important to note, where Rodgers is placing this ball is so elite because this is like an in-game rep where Chuck Clark is right here, waiting in the middle of the field for Garrett. Also, again, great anticipation by Rodgers. He's already releasing the ball. Garrett's not even looking. But he's throwing it on his back shoulder inside and low because if you threw this here and let him into the safety, it's a hospital ball. He knows throw this ball low, let him get the first down and the completion. I'll play it one more time fully. But that's just the little things. Like Rodgers just won this play at the line of scrimmage. He won this play right away, saw his man coverage, changed whatever play they had in the huddle, and then he won it with his ball placement because in the real game, there's a real rep. That's a perfect placed ball where you're not going to get your wide receiver one killed.
I'm so glad you brought this up because I said the same thing yesterday that last year, this is a hospital ball that's being thrown Garrett's way, or he's got to go up and make an acrobatic crazy catch. And Rodgers just where he released the ball, Garrett's not open, but it's a great example, just like the first completion that we've seen, just throwing guys open, man. That's what Rodgers does.
Yeah, and he ends up I think he trusts Garrett to win on this route here, especially because DJ had leverage towards the sideline because he knows he has a safety in the middle of the field. But that's why Rodgers, you can't miss a beat on this throw. It needs to come out right away, and that's why the anticipation of it coming out already. And then, look, a lot of other quarterbacks would just throw this high and let the receiver get hit hard. Garrett's not the biggest guy. It's important to place the ball low and away from the defenders here. So what? The sticks to gain is here. You already got it. Yeah, you're not going to get yards after the catch here, but you're getting a 15, 20-yard gain, and you're saving his health for a play. So that's a perfect ball placement. I know people might be like, oh, you want to like keep him moving and keep him on his feet. Not in that sense. Not on a third down where there's a robber safety over the middle of the field. It's probably going to hit him. Oh, yeah, I had this play also. So I thought this – okay, so this is Braylon here. I thought this was pretty interesting formation because it looks like they're leaving this entire gap open, but obviously you find out why. It's because, again, I think that's Yeboah. They're kind of running a crack toss here. So crack block and then a toss play with Olu pulling and Rucker pulling. Now I loved seeing Olu again getting on the second level.
Yeah.
It's just a cool thing to see that we're going to be running this concept. Like we talked about the gap scheme runs. Crack toss is a staple gap scheme run. I really do like Rucker and Olu pulling. Obviously, we might not see Olu that much in this position this year if we're fully healthy, because Tyron Smith pulling definitely a different beast right now. But it's good to see, and I like Braylon. He's not afraid for any contact. So on plays like this, he'll excel.
He's so fast for his size, and you can see they want nothing to do with tackling him.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like we got a steal, honestly, especially with all the running backs that were taken before him. So I'm very, very happy with Braylon, and again, I think he's the perfect complement to Breece, really, because whenever Breece needs a couple plays off, you'll have a guy that is going to be fresh coming on the field that wants contact. And that's how you really break defenses down. And it really matters. December, January, running the football obviously is very important in the cold. So with our O-line being healthy and having guys like Braylon and Breece to really break down a defense just in the run game and then set up play action, so many other things for Rodgers when it comes to playoff time, it's going to be really, really big.
Love it. Olu getting to the second level, as you pointed out. Yeah, I mean, Braylon was impressed. They had a 4th and 1 later in the game, the mock game here, and Braylon was the guy on the 4th down that got the carry up the middle to move the chains.
Yep, I do. I recall that as well. Yeah, then this play, there's not even much to say about it. You said it's 2nd and 8 in the red zone. I can't see what is going on with Tippmann if he's getting up quickly to block. But for whatever reason, he just airmails it over his head. I mean, definitely a concern. It is concerning at this point, especially in these situations. If this happens come season, what are we going to put Schweitzer in? Like I'd rather not do that. It's a concern. I am also just like I'm not sure. I think it looks like a normal distance between them. Not that this would even have been remotely close to him anywhere, honestly. So I'm not going to make an excuse. I don't know. It's a concern, Jake. As we mentioned it before the show, it's definitely a concern.
Well, you know what I also don't love? Rodgers running after the snap there. You know?
Right.
Like I know it's a game situation, but I get nervous when I see him running like that.
Yeah.
Bend down.
Yep. If that's happening against San Fran, they're going to be licking their chops at him. So I don't like we just got to that's got to just get figured out. I'm not an expert in snapping, so I'm not even going to dive into it really. It's just it's got to be like a mental thing at this point. And
Saleh tried to defend it, saying he doesn't think it's mental. He goes, I'm not worried about it. We're asking him to do a lot of new things to utilize his athleticism. So it's a technical thing that he'll get figured out. That was what he said. I know the coach has to say that, but I still would re-sign McGovern, but I've been saying that before training camp. Like I feel better about McGovern as the backup center, and he also could play guard than I do a lot of other players on this team.
Yeah. Oh, I agree with you. So we'll have to see what happens with that. I just don't see a reason we don't sign McGovern. Like I think it's just like an easy vet minimum have an extra guy on the roster. It's not like our interior O-line depth isn't great. You could correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like it's Jake Hansen and Schweitzer, guys that we never wanted to play last year that had to play.
Isaiah Newman, like, come on.
Yeah. So maybe Sleepy Joe will wake up after he signs Hassan or whatever, but we shall see. So then I love this. This play was great. Garrett in the slot. Was it Garrett in the slot here? No, that's Corley. Sorry. Garrett on the outside. He's got stickers on him. As I've said on the show time and time again, especially if Rodgers sees a defender's back turned to him, he's going to release the ball because that means the receiver's open in his mind. So it's just a little outside fade. It was on like a free play. Beautifully placed on his back shoulder. This is like paramount stuff that you really want to see in training camp because this is a staple play in the West Coast offense for Rodgers, and him and Devontae ran it a ton, and Garrett knows to run like a little fade route, a little go route, but he knows he's already got his eyes back on him right away, which I love because Rodgers is the king of the back shoulder throw. Like that might be Bernard Converse actually on him. Is that 20? That's 29.
Yeah, he made some plays on Saturday.
Yeah. I heard that and saw that as well. I mean, this is good coverage. Look at the balls in the air, and JBC is not knowing where it is, but Garrett knows where it is, so makes a little adjustment. It's perfectly placed on his back shoulder. Great coverage. There's a lot of times perfect coverage. If you have a perfect throw, it's not going to matter, especially with Rodgers. So just one last time, it's just important to see a free play. Garrett knows, okay, I'm just going to run this quick go route, keep an eye on my back shoulder throw, perfect throw from Rodgers, and good to see the chemistry between them blooming. I mean, I've been hearing only great things and seeing great things between them. So.
And what's great too, Andrew, is that throw is so quick that you don't need a great O-line to execute this as long as the ball's out fast. If you get the look that Rodgers wants. Right.
It looks like Quinnen jumps offside, honestly. So right there jumps off.
Yeah, it was a free play.
Who's the center there? I would love to know if that's Tippmann.
It was Tippmann.
Okay. So Tippmann already knows whenever there's he sees Quinnen jump.
Snap it
right away. Yep. And then king of the free play, Rodgers. So that's good. That's good to see. It's not all bad with Tippmann. So I know that might feel that way, but I don't think it's all bad with Tippmann. Let's see. Okay. I love this play. Great play fake from Rodgers again. And then they ran this a couple of times. Lazard over the middle. Thought he actually showed a good job. I know he's not getting tackled, but that looked like a good break to me. Just to show a little after the catch action. Really, they're condensing the formation so hard. This is such a run play look with Lazard, and then a hard run fake. Really looks like he almost handed it off. Lazard's still blocking post play.
That's an amazing fake. Look at that. It looks like he clearly handed it off.
Yeah. Over here, it looks like it's in Isaiah Davis's hands. So look at, also there's zero linebackers that have any thought in their mind that this isn't a run. Quincy, great play fake. And then Lazard getting held a little. Oh, no, Garrett was getting held. Lazard was blocking a little and then busted out. Good duck under to get some yards after the catch. Solomon Thomas after this play. I watched this play 4 times. Look how mad he was. I don't really know what he was upset about. Look at Solly after this play.
Yeah, I don't know what
I don't know what he was so mad about, but he was fuming.
Maybe he got held or something, or he thought he did. I don't know.
I wonder. But good look from Lazard there. Then the next 3 minutes, there was a good amount of miscommunications. I wrote. Said it was fine because it's happening in August.
The screen with Isaiah Davis was one of them where Rodgers wanted him to come back to the ball, and he chatted with him right away after that.
Right. I think that was actually right after. I think that was this play.
Yep.
Yeah, this is a tough look. He's a rookie, but I don't understand. The O-line also kind of looked like they didn't know what was going on. What? AVT and Tippmann, the play looks like it's over for them. And Isaiah Davis obviously is ahead of them, which not what you want at all on the screenplay. And then I saw Rodgers was unhappy after that for sure. But just a miscommunication, it looked like. I don't know I don't know how he didn't know it was a screenplay, but it looked like a lot of the O-line was also a bit confused, but at least they were out there. So Looked like they may have known as well as a screenplay. All right. Next play. Again, I thought this was a great play action fake from Rodgers again. We know how good he is at it. But look, I think it was like second. This might have been third and short. This might have been the play before the play you were talking about where they gave it to Braylon for the 4th down conversion. 13 personnel, so they're really selling this counter play, meaning 2 pullers. Again, another great play fake. Sherwood honestly doesn't get really – I'll just play this fully. Sherwood doesn't get tricked too hard. And then he's in Rodgers' face, but Rodgers makes a great throw to Yeboah, who you think would really need to make this catch. Like he's got to make a play like this when he's given the opportunity and just doesn't make the play. Again, Rodgers has pressure in his face, and he's giving you a catchable ball.
Pause it when he's about to throw it. Right there. Like he has like the Air Jordan jump throw, and it's on one leg, a dime. Look at that.
Just a little fadeaway. From the 50. So it's like a 20-yard throw, really. It ends up being right into Yeboah's hands. You can't really make any excuses up for this at this point. You got to make the play. That might be a little bit of a difficult of a catch, but I don't think so. And you're fighting for a roster spot. That has got to be a play you make. But again, great run.
Hey, give it to Braylon.
Yep.
All right, the next play was after you.
Yeah, great run fake. Yeah, this was just a little inside zone, I think, to Braylon.
First down. Rodgers like, move the chains.
Yeah. Then I think the next play I wanted to get into was in the red zone. This was Sherwood with like an unbelievable play here. So
against Lazard, right?
Yeah. So Lazard's going to get on a little spot. I've talked about this on the channel before. A little spot and go. So he's going to settle and then run up the seam. It's a concept that a lot of people run in the red zone. But you got to watch.
The Chiefs, they did that. Zach Wilson hit him on it.
Yeah. Yep. And Sherwood is just playing he's playing hook curl here. So he has the hook curl spot in the zone. And I just thought it was such a good job by him to play through the ball because this ball gets to Lazard. I want to say we'll see it on the replay, but he doesn't panic and gets his hand through the ball to make a huge pass breakup. I could slow it down a tiny bit, but here Lazard stops, breaks up field. Sherwood does a great job getting his head turned because, look, this is a good ball. You would hope he high points this and makes it, but you can't make a play when someone strikes through your hands like that. That's as good as it gets. It really reminds me of that play Quincy made against the Chiefs with his back turned to the ball when he stuck his hand through the receiver's hands. Even Ashton there, I think, to make a good a little play after the whistle. But really, Sherwood. I have another play from Sherwood coming up. So really good to see him taking another step in this defense.
Absolutely. A couple super chats to get to here, then we'll get right back to the film review. Just want to get caught up on that. If you're tuning in live right now, hit the like button. We're chatting with Andrew Fialkow of JetsXFactor.com. He'll be with us on Thursday as well this week after the joint practice between the Jets and the Commies. Vladdy P with a super chat. Hey, Jake just came in. Is there any chance they could just trade Reddick? This is getting ridiculous at this point to try to get some compensation back. They're not trading him. His value is incredibly low because everyone knows he wants a new deal. That's why the Jets got him for a third rounder in 2026. They will get something done. It's frustrating, but he's a hell of a player. So let's not lose sight of that. Right now, Michael Clemens is taking most of the reps opposite JJ. That's not good enough. I know Will McDonald will get more time this year, but still, he's a project. They need Hassan Reddick for this defense.
Agreed.
M. King says, Rodgers' football IQ is low. Not AR is great. Amen. I mean, you can just see the high-level stuff when he's changing plays at the line, identifying coverages quick, throwing guys open. It's high-level quarterbacking, man.
100%.
M. King follows up. Joe D dropped the bomb with the 2024 draft class. So far, so good for Braylon Allen. Stiggers has looked good. Obviously, Corley's going to play a role. I mean, Olu looks awesome. So far, so good. It's early, though. They haven't played teams yet in the preseason. Right. Regular season hasn't started yet, but I think it's you feel way better about the draft class right now than you did about the 23 class at this time of year.
I agree. I'm just getting through Twitter right now. Brownlee made a good catch on Sauce. Connor Rodgers, who I love also, he wrote, Jets should really throw Brownlee into the fire this preseason and see what he's got. He's got a bigger ceiling than Lazard, and they need one of those two to be ready for whenever – to be a bridge for whenever Mike Williams is ready. Obviously, that's true. I do think that the Jets probably view Lazard higher than Brownlee, obviously, at this point, just with the chemistry that he's had with Rodgers, probably the comfortability in the offense. But I do agree that the upside for Brownlee just is better.
He scored the only touchdown of the scrimmage from Tyrod, too. He's starting to come on a little bit, which is
yeah.
nice.
Yeah, which, I mean, we were all pushing for Brownlee to play last year just to get some reps because at that point, Lazard had really checked out. I think the preseason will be huge for Brownlee. I don't know what quarterback he's going to be playing with. Do we think Tyrod's even going to play? I don't really see why he would.
I don't think he plays till maybe the last one.
Yeah. So I guess he'll be with Peasley. He'll be against
Adrian Martinez.
Yeah, maybe Adrian Martinez. But that's players to look for. We could talk about that a little bit after I have 2 more plays left, but players I'm watching for sure in preseason, Brownlee's one of them for sure.
Yep. Joe Mike writes in with a super chat. In episode 1 of Flight 24, when Reddick enters the building, Jeff Ulbrich greets him. Reddick says, "What's your name? How do you not know your new DC's name?" I don't know. There were a bunch of people coming up to him. Maybe he's never met Ulbrich in person. That's the least of my concerns, Joe Mike. I love you. But I'm not concerned about Ulbrich and Reddick knowing one another.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that much. Before we get into the final 2 plays here from Fialkow, and I have a pretty good idea what plays is going to be. The Rodgers building up Lazard's confidence, going to him back-to-back plays with Eccles in his face. Let's pause because today's sponsor is something that every Jet fan that has been to training camp this summer needs to take account for. Mando deodorant, folks. Some of you people that I've met, you stink. Good thing I have quite the solution.
Here we go. Introducing Lumi for men, and we named him Mando. The whole body deodorant that's clinically proven to block odor all day and controls odor for 72 hours on pits, feet, privates, between your butt cheeks. So here's the odor controlling math. 12 hours after a shower with soap, the average armpit and nether region had an odor score of 8 and 5 out of 10. 12 hours after a shower with soap and applying Mando, those odor scores were 0. How do you like them apples?
Okay, let me make it simple, folks. You want to smell nice? Use Mando deodorant. New customers get $5 off Mando's best-selling starter pack with code Asman at shopmando.com. In the starter pack is something I want to talk about specifically. The Mando Cleansing Bar. This is basically shampoo, soap, deodorant, all in one. Mando's 4-in-1 acidified cleansing bar is formulated with a gentle alpha hydroxy acid that stops odor at the source. Regular soap can't do that because the pH is too high. Simplify your hygiene routine. It's the only thing you really need to pack when you're taking a trip. I got a trip out to training camp Wednesday and Thursday this week. You best believe I'll be packing some Mando deodorant, Mando soap. They got the deodorant wipes as well. All this, the Pro Sport body odor, all this is in the starter pack, and you can get a discount on the Mando starter pack when you use my code that you see right up there on the screen. It's linked in the description. Promo code Asman at shopmando.com. Once again, shopmando.com. Perfect for new customers. Solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant. 2 free products of your choice. I recommend the soap and the mini body washes. I just held it up. Free shipping included. Once again, shopmando.com. That's SHOP Mando.com to get your starter pack with that code Asman at checkout. Shout out to Mando for being a part of today's program. We bring back on right now the great Andrew Fialkow to go over the final 2 plays. We're in the 2-minute drill now, baby. Here we go. What does Aaron Rodgers and company have for an encore? And to set the scene here, they need a field goal to win. That's how the scoring system worked. They're not driving for a touchdown. The goal was to get Greg Zuerlein in range for a field goal. So now that you have that context, everyone, we will allow Andrew to do what he does better than anyone.
Thank you, Jake. So the first play actually I really wanted to show was this Conklin quick slant that Sherwood made a great play on. Makes the play, and then Sherwood rips the ball out. The defense was really happy about that. I loved the celebration from Sherwood. But, again, another good play with him in coverage. Like, I feel pretty good about our linebacker depth. I think, like, people were a bit worried, like, if Quincy ever were to go down or CJ would ever go down. I mean, Sherwood has shown up really well. I've been reading on Twitter all the time that he's been really good in the run game. If he's this good in pass defense as well, we have a really, really good third linebacker that will be ready to play. I love how patient he is there too. He not pressing. He's so patient. And then, again, playing through the ball. Conklin has the catch here. He just rips it out for the incompletion.
Sherwood has been so impressive every time I've watched him. Yeah, he was really good in this scrimmage. He's been really good at in basically all the practices. To me, he's a guy who's a starter on a lot of teams in the league. He just happens to be behind 2 Pro Bowl linebackers.
It seems like it. He's been one of the stars of training camp, obviously, it seems like, from just the clips, from a lot of the media talking about it. Robbie Sabo, I've seen tweeting about him a bunch. So, yeah, really happy for him. I didn't even have this play written down, but I think this was when you were talking about the first one to Lazard.
Yeah, so the context here is great, right? So this is 3rd down, game's on the line, right? Because the Jets are not at field goal range at this point. And it just shows me the trust Rodgers has in his guys, right? He knows Lazard. So without thinking, he saw the one-on-one on the outside against Eccles. He threw it up and he drew the PI right away. Like, he wasn't going to Garrett here. Like, once again, this is 3rd and long. They need to move the chains. Otherwise, the defense basically wins the day. And they drew the PI. You have Eccles throwing the punch, which is stupid when they're both wearing helmets. That's how you could hurt yourself. And then you're going to show it right here. The next play is the dime, basically a similar concept. I'll allow you to break it down. He goes right back to Lazard for what ends up being basically the game-winning throw, and then they clock it, and Zerline hits a chip shot.
Right. So on this one, I'll just quickly, it is the same exact thing. It's just a slot fade. It looks like Eccles honestly gets good contact on him to just to disrupt the rhythm of the route. But like you said, Rodgers is not going to not give him another chance here, which you love to see. I don't know about that being pass interference. I mean, it looks like it actually, but I like the physicalness from Eccles. He's a lot smaller than Lazard, obviously, and that's probably why the ball wasn't completed. So look at this. Rodgers says, okay, I was leading him out a little too far on that one. How about on this one, we run the slot fade, but I go back shoulder, which he knows Lazard loves. Did they can the play at the line? Let's see. I can't. Yep, can the play. So right away, they probably had the second play call in the huddle of, hey, if we get man coverage, I'm going to get you on the same exact play, whether they run 4 verticals or a stick route here and then a fade. But whatever, Rodgers is looking at Lazard right now. He says, yep, we got man coverage, going back right to the fade. I love that. Like that you love to see. That he's saying another chance, like, okay, we're getting this man coverage again. Run the exact same route, slot fade. I'm going to throw it in your back shoulder. You high point it and go make a play on the guy that just pass interfered with you. That's so awesome. That's a big, like you said, like mental rep and like a mental building rep for Lazard to get the exact same route and win on it the play after. And Rodgers audibled to that play. So, like you said, it looks like they're going to clock the ball to 7-6-5. Really awesome to see that. I love to see that.
Yeah, it's just like, to me, building up Lazard's confidence. It's like, it was, you could tell it meant a lot to Lazard too, just seeing what happened afterwards, like everyone coming up to him, because like previous play gets into it with Eccles. They stopped practice. You can even see on the clip Rodgers running in to break up the fight. Rodgers like building up Lazard. It's like, I'm going to go right back to you here, game on the line. And Lazard, to his credit, caught it. It's a great throw by Rodgers, but like that's all Lazard has to do to be a capable, number 3, number 4 receiver on this team. Just catch the ball when it hits you in the hands. He caught basically everything in this scrimmage. Yeah,
completely agree. That's the thing. We're not asking for a ton from Lazard. Like, you're 6'5". Brandon Eccles is probably 5'10". So yeah, if you're getting a slot corner, we want you to go high point the ball like this on a perfect back shoulder play throw from Rodgers in the slot and make a play like the plays you weren't making last year. And I don't see why he can't make these plays. So I have high hopes for him if needed. Look, Rodgers very happy about it, and then they let who's that kicking it?
I think it was Zerline. Was it not?
Looks like 15, number 15.
I guess I don't know who 15 is.
Do we still have Austin Seibert? Why do we feel like we have him?
Maybe they do.
Okay. Well, yeah, and then I guess the offense won the practice. That was the
scoring system. It came down to that. But
awesome.
Like the defense played well. Like, they didn't allow a touchdown against the starting offense. It's just there were a couple things that killed drives. The Tippmann high snap, they were driving, and that ended that, settled for a field goal. The Isaiah Davis fumble, he had a good practice outside of that play. That killed that drive. They only had 3 normal drives before the 2-minute where Rodgers and the team flawlessly made the plays and got right down the field.
Yep. Yeah. I agree. I think that's why I'm excited for Thursday, Jake, because I'm really ready to see the Jets offense against a different defense. I just want to see what they look like. Like, I'm going to honestly look up the Commanders defense right now because I'm not very well in tuned with it. It looks like a defense that we should win against, though. Oh, wow. They were the ones who signed Frankie Louvu to a big contract. Okay. They have a good D-line, so this will be a good test for our offensive line. They have Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne. So this is going to be a good test. They also signed Jeremy Chin. They don't have a bad defense. I think it's a defense we should win against, and I think it's an offense especially we should win against. With Jaden Daniels playing his first, obviously these are his first big reps, so it's going to be really cool to see. I'm so excited to watch the Jets against a different team.
Yep, me too as well. Folks, on Friday, a big merch drop is coming. Our summer drop, shorts,
nice,
flip-flops, slides. It's all coming. JakeAsman.com to get your merch today. A lot of you have commented about my Asmaniac bucket hat. Check it out, JakeAsman.com. We have Jake Asman Show and Asmaniac bucket hats available on the merch store. All Patreon users get 15% off on every item in the merch store. So if you haven't joined the Patreon yet, you're missing out. It is the place to be for Discord access, bonus shows not on YouTube, merch discounts, and obviously your name in the intro that we update once a month as well. Big shout out to our most recent Patreon subscribers, Terrence Hill and Dick Chimney's Burner, who both joined the Discord either earlier today or last night, which was truly awesome. So shout out to everyone. Best way to support me is going to Patreon, patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. Thank you to everyone for their support. We also are going to be having apparel in the merch store specifically for the 4% female demographic as well. So big things are coming for those out there. Tristan Oliver writes in, I can confirm Mando is wild and it works. Thank you. If you need good deodorant, many of you do. I won't name any names. No, I won't. But make sure you use my promo code at checkout, Shop Mando, promo code Asman. Get the discount, get the starter pack, try their products. You'll never go back. Dano's got a question for you, Andrew. So we're going to open it up now. Comments and questions, super chats. They always cut the line. We'll take some calls as well. Dano wants to know, do you think their vision for Sherwood replacing Mosley has changed over time? He's not trending to a full-time linebacker build, is he?
I think he could be, definitely. I know that it's probably not what everyone wanted to hear because honestly, I have to check CJ's contract. I know they
it's basically this year and next year with the restructure now.
Right. And CJ's a bit older. Obviously everyone's like the thought process is he's 32. So he's gonna be playing until 34, 35. I could really see CJ retiring after these next 2 years, to be completely honest with you. He's played for 10 years already. Linebackers are a really tough position to have longevity at. You always would hope to have depth pieces that will fill in for guys whenever they leave. So I don't see why they wouldn't be hoping for Sherwood to take that leap. And I could envision Sherwood and Quincy being a solid linebacker duo for sure.
Well, so Sherwood's a free agent after this year, so it's going to be interesting to see what his value is on the open market and if they could try and potentially keep him.
So the funny thing there, Jake, is it would probably benefit the Jets not to play him besides in their base packages this year, which I mean they won't because they have Quincy and CJ unless obviously hopefully they stay healthy. But yeah, again, then you kind of have a good all about Sherwood, so it's kind of like the Ashton Davis situation where we were able to give him a smaller contract. I think you get Sherwood on a 2 years, $8 million. You could get him on something really cheap.
Yeah.
And maybe try and groom him to become the starter at some point.
It's certainly possible. I think you're onto something there. William Sprague checks in. All caps, William. That's when you know he's serious. Andrew Fialkow is the best thing that has ever happened to the Jake Asman Show. I told Andrew months ago, get to know Jake because he's going places. William, you're the best, my man. Hope you and your wife are doing well. And look, I think Fialkow is tremendous. That's why we're having him on not once but twice this week, man.
Appreciate you, Jake. Yeah. I think William was the one who DM'd me on LinkedIn. I think someone did. I think he'd say he was like, "Yeah, you got to stay with Jake." I was like, "Okay, got it."
Pittsburgh Mike writes in with quite the predicament here. Heading out on vacation Saturday, 6.5 drive. Here's the dilemma. Do I make my wife drive so I can watch the Jets preseason game, or do I leave early and make it there before kickoff? I mean, Mike, the game's at noon Eastern, so I think you just let your wife drive for the preseason game.
Yeah.
You can just watch it on your phone. Like, it's not like it's a regular season game. Like, most of the Jets starters aren't going to play. You might see, like, Will McDonald and Tippmann out there. I don't even know if Tippmann's going to be out there, but I would say you let your wife drive for, part of that 6.5 hours, and then you do the rest when the Jets aren't playing. That's the easy solution.
Yeah. I mean, you could leave at 12, watch the game until 3. You drive the rest. You could drive first from 9 to 12. You got options, Mike. Peter
says, is that LL Cool Jake? I love it. I'm Flavor Flav as well with the Asmaniac bucket hat. I'm going full King Lowski with this, man. I love it.
Did Lowski get one?
He got his. I sent him one when we first opened the store.
Okay. Awesome.
John says, anyone have an extra ticket for Thursday? Taking my 8-year-old, but need an extra ticket. John, message me off air. I got you. I have an extra ticket for Thursday. I'm going to post some stuff in the Discord, but since you wrote specifically about taking your son, I need to be the one to help you, man, because that's awesome. So please reach out to me, and I got your ticket for Thursday. Hopefully you're still watching the show. Jordan says, bucket hat is fire. Thank you, Jordan. R&R says, good morning football at Jets camp this morning, saying good things about the team. I saw Sauce did a great interview with them. I haven't watched the whole thing yet. I only saw some clips. Yep. So I look forward to watching that. The problem is I can't play any of their stuff on the show. It gets flagged every time. ESPN is way more lenient with allowing me to play clips from Get Up or First Take. If I play anything from the NFL Network, flagged right away, video can't be monetized, and it's beyond annoying. Sluggo writes in, do you think Tyron Smith will suit up for the scrimmage? Do I think he'll play Thursday?
Thursday.
Well, I'm guessing he means the joint practice, right? Because they're not scrimmaging anymore.
Yeah.
I think he might. I mean, he didn't practice today. It's another rest day. I could see him being out there on Thursday, and because I feel like they'll treat the joint practices like it's their preseason games for a lot of the older players.
Right. I agree, and I think Tyron Smith's definitely not going to play in any of the preseason games. So just manage his reps a bit. I like the Jets' plan that they're giving him a lot of off days in the training camp because obviously these past couple of years he hasn't been able to stay healthy the entire year. So yeah, give him as many off days as he wants, but I think it would be a good time to get the 5-0 linemen that we want to start come week 1, some reps against another team. So I do believe that they'll play in some capacity on Thursday.
Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. Only 129 likes, but 382 people are watching. So the math is not mathing, folks. Hit that like button. Appreciate everyone for their support. It's free to like the video. There's no money required to support your favorite content creators, Jake and Andrew, here on the show. Let's see. Gusbuster Hotline. Let's open that up. Let's get to some of your calls. Ladies and gentlemen, this guy yesterday celebrated a 40th birthday. His entire family serenaded him, not with a happy birthday, but with a JETS, Jets chant. Ladies and gentlemen, we bring on right now the 40-year-old legend himself, Mr. Bonsy.
The only thing better than all them shoes is Joey D, cause he totally rules. Jake, my brother, I'm high as a kite. I love everybody. Damn, this show is crazy. Hey!
I've been waiting for you, Bonsy.
Fialkow!
How we
Jake,
doing,
my brother?
The birthday boy.
Let's go.
Happy belated.
Thank you, man. I feel old already in the 40s. Feel terrible.
You and Aaron Rodgers, man, same age. You're a couple months older.
Hell yeah, but he's very good looking still. You know what I mean? He's the man. Dude, watching Aaron Rodgers up front, when he ran towards us, Jake, when we were sitting there, and that red jersey came running, it already felt different. It just the fact that we still haven't seen him on the field, watching him live, it was so beautiful, man. Just the best. My favorite play still was when everybody was covered. The D-back's head wasn't turned. He just threw it up to Garrett in the perfect spot just to give him a chance to make that catch. And that's the type of shit. Once you saw that too, it just shows you how we saw for the past, I don't know how many years, stacked boxes. Breece Hall was unbelievable last year with terrible quarterback play and a stacked box. Just from the practice, you can't You can't do that. Breece Hall is going to have 75 catches. He's going to be eating out of the backfield.
That was one of my takeaways too, just seeing the amount of times, hey, check down, not there, give it to Breece. And just even some design plays where there was one play, Breece dropped it, but they basically motioned Breece out to get him matched up against a linebacker. It was Chaz Surratt. He beat him clean. It would have been like a pickup of 5, but it was just off his fingertips. Like, you'll see that a lot this year.
Yeah, watching Brandon Allen, just looks like another good pick by Douglas. And even in that round, him trading and getting us the 3rd and then still landing a back like him, it just shows you, man, whenever Joe Douglas, no matter what have we been talking about mostly? Fashanu and Corley seem like great picks that we already know could develop into something real nice, especially Fashanu. He seems like a lock already. We're talking about Stiggers, and we're talking about Brandon Allen, and we're talking about his late round, day 3 picks. Like, it's just a different regime. The development of the players is there. Our depth is crazy. I mean, I don't know, fellas. It feels so good.
Yep. Agreed.
And Jake.
Yep.
You got to tell you. We talked about it last night on Nick's show, but I gotta tell just Jake's ladies and gentlemen. So I'm leaving because it was really hot at the facility, and I'm leaving. And after Jake already gave me a ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Bonsy, and everybody started clapping in the stands. After it was really hot, my family are leaving. We're waiting online to get a golf cart to take us back. We finally get on the golf cart. We're driving away, and randomly out of nowhere, Jake just appears like a magician. Ladies and gentlemen, the Mr. Bone family. My kids and my wife are dying, man. It was just a great time, man. And you weren't there, right, Fialkow? I didn't miss you, right?
No, I was there. I was there like 2 weeks ago, and then I'll be there Thursday.
Oh, nice. Yep. It was so hot. I didn't even like. I know Chef Kevin was there. There was a lot of people that I missed, but I found, my core homies to say what's up.
Bonesy, I hope you had a great birthday, man. I love seeing the pictures your wife posted of the Jet Chat. That was great.
Yep. And let's go, Lazard. I've been telling you guys, that's his. If we would have saw Lazard with Rodgers last year, we wouldn't have felt all this this shitty on him before watching him again work with his man. Lazard is Rodgers' rock. 2 years ago when he had his bad year, it was because C.J. Watson didn't come back till week 8. He had, he was throwing just to the 4th round. I'm blanking on what's his name, the 4th round receiver that they drafted. But yeah. No, Watson wasn't there. He was in the 2nd. It was the 4th.
Not Romeo Dobbs.
Not Dobbs. It's the other guy.
Dontavian.
Anyway. Rodgers is going to be the shit, man. Jets, Jets. Let's go.
Bonesy, thank you for the call. One thing I want to address here. So Jay says, Jake, please consider a broadcast quality mic. Jay, this is the mic I use when I'm on ESPN Sirius. It is as high quality as it gets. It is a Shure mic. Like, this thing is a couple $100. So I think it's a StreamYard thing if there's an issue with my mic, but I'm not seeing anyone else complain about it besides you. So I don't know what the problem is. I just made it louder a little bit if I'm a little low, but then I don't want to distort the volume. And I asked Andrew before the show if he could hear me fine. He said he could. So I think it's like personal opinion with the mic. Like, it's the same mic I've always used when I've done radio. So I don't know. I don't know what I could really do. I have a stick mic I could use, but then that was giving me problems a few weeks ago. So I went back to this mic. So I don't know what you want me to do, Jay.
I think two things. One, I think it was only a couple of people because I was reading the chat too. It sounds fine to me. One, two. Do you see this guy Jesus Jerry Vaca who's asked he's asked me 4 different questions and none of them have been about the Jets.
That's his go-to. Like this one, Andrew, how dangerous is the zone Kenny Loggins sings about?
I haven't seen them. I'm like, wait, let me read that, and then it's not about not about the Jets, but good stuff.
People are saying it sounds a little lower than usual. I'm trying, man. I'm trying. Brandon says audio sounds great. So, I don't know what to do. I made it louder. I adjusted a setting. I don't know. I don't know what to do. It was a little lower than normal because I'm using a different input here, but I promise you, I made it as loud as I could go without it distorting here. So
I got you.
Tom A says, I want Danger Zone to be our walkout song. That's actually not a bad walkout song. They can't do Thunderstruck after Rodgers getting hurt last year, so gotta switch it up.
Cannot wait to see what the walkout is that Thursday night, man. I can't wait.
Especially if they're 2-0.
Yeah, I'll just do it.
Someone wrote sounds clear, just a little low. Well, I raised it now, so
it's good. Yeah,
I'm doing my best here. Here's what I want to do. I want to take a quick commercial break here, come back, and rapid fire through a bunch of your calls. Before we do that, John writes in, Jake, I got the ticket from a great listener. Hoping to meet you at camp. Love the content. Nice. All right, John, I'm glad you got a ticket. If anyone needs a training camp ticket for Thursday, I do have a couple extra ones. I might have a few for Wednesday, but I don't count on that just yet. But, John, I'm glad to hear it. So that excites me. Let's see. Terrence says, I'm on the road in my work, man, and y'all sound good to me. Not bad.
Yep.
Tom says, got to go Jet themes, and what a better way than the theme from Top Gun. I agree. I think that's actually a great walkout song. This is pretty funny from Hawk. If we made a chart showing content creator mic quality, Jake would be in the Zach position. Well, I'll tell you what. Speaking of the Zach position, Hawk, I can't even see where he is on this chart because your comment is covering it. Got him.
Oh, wow. You had that ready.
Always.
Always.
You ever know when you got to blast Hawk into pieces?
Yep.
All right. I'm gonna take a quick commercial break with Andrew here. We come back, we get into more of your calls. It's the Jake Asman Show. Stay with us, like the video. We come back with more JETS, Jets.
Andrew Fialkow is on hold, so let's go to Andrew, who's up next. Hello, Andrew.
Hey, Jake. The chat keeps blowing up with these Zach Wilson truthers, so I want to show you some film on this guy to help tell the story. Okay, let's start with this pass to Garrett Wilson. Here's against the Bills. You can see if I stop it here. Zach has a clear shot at Garrett with nobody in his face. Play it forward a bit. Garrett is fighting off the defender here, but single coverage. Stopping here, you see how even a 6-year-old blind albino alligator could have thrown this in a better spot. Thank God, Garrett is a friggin' stud as he makes the catch, allowing Zach to celebrate like he helped the team win a Super Bowl. Here, Garrett tells the ref, hey, ref, did you see how fucking horrible that throw was and I still caught it? Disgusting. One more film breakdown here as we see Zach returning from the sideline, unable to navigate himself with any success back to the huddle. Thankfully, his teammates were there to help him up off the ground. But unfortunately for Zach, they chose to not help him. Zach's ass had a large bruise that took a while to heal, although his mom's friend gave him some aloe to rub on the buttocks, and that helped a little. Next week, I'll have a full film breakdown of Cole Thompson's scooter crash from the combine. Thanks for having me, Jake. Gator sucks.
Oh my God. Well, thank you for that film breakdown, Andrew.
Dude,
great job.
I was waiting. I was like, one day I've seen those before. I'm like, Gators got to get me one on more of these. Oh, Gator. that was damn good.
The only good thing that happened to me late tonight, early this morning, was making sweet, passionate love to my fiance.
Joining us right now is a man who knows a thing or two about making sweet and passionate love to his fiance. Ladies and gentlemen, Boy Green, Esden Jr. Hello, Paul.
Speaking of the sweet, passionate lovemaking, I'm outside a laundromat right now. I think we all know what I'm here for. Had to wash the sheets. If you catch me, that had to happen. Yes, after last night. It was phenomenal for those who are curious.
Congrats on the sex.
The sex was great. I might get in trouble with any more details, but that is true.
Well, I'm happy for you.
My tuchus, my cheeks are pressed firmly against this brick wall, and I can't say if my fiance didn't have the same thing happening to her last night. Yeah.
Well, on that note, we'll let you go, Boy Green. Job well
Jake,
done.
I love it, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, Boy Green, one of the greats.
All right, we're back right here. Appreciate everyone hanging out with us here. Gusbuster Hotline is open for anyone who wants in on the conversation with Andrew and myself. We'll let Andrew go in just a bit. So any specific questions for him, write it in, and we will bring that up on the chat as quickly as we can. Just seeing this comment here from Tom. He goes, where does Bobby's mic fit into this chart? Bobby's mic has had some issues lately. Proud NYJ fan, our guy Nick Shine, who I joined last night on his excellent Sunday night program with VR. Thanks for hanging on my show last night, Jake. The new legend of backwards hat Bobby was born. Hashtag he's sexy and he knows it. I agree. Everyone who caught Sunday Shenanigans on Nick's channel, we learned a lot about Bobby's sex life. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, boy.
It got wild. Let's see. More of your calls right now. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now is the pride of the Fort Worth area, the great Gary in Fort Worth. Hello, Gary.
Yo, what's up? How are you guys?
Yo.
Good to see you, Gary.
I didn't even realize I was on. I had something else going on. My bad, y'all. Yeah. I got a couple of things. First, I'll let you guys defend this because I don't want to be the Joe Douglas hater. Hassan Reddick situation. Make it make sense. Explain to me why this is a good move for the Jets, trading for a guy who was going to hold out. Why is this smart? I don't want to be the Joe Douglas hater. So I'll let you guys clean this up for him. Why is this smart? Why was this a good move by Joe Douglas?
Because when they eventually get him signed, he's a better player than Bryce Huff, and he's going to help them win a lot of games.
Are they going to get? It's been 2 weeks now. He's held out, right?
All right. If he's not there by week 1, right, then it's a bad move. But I'm willing to bet that they get something done between now and well before when the season starts. So he's out there against the Niners.
The other question related to that is he in game shape? Is he staying in shape, or is he on the couch? I don't know if you guys know the answer to that, but typically when guys hold out, pros who've been in the league, a long time, when they hold out like this, are they typically staying in game shape and they can just, get acclimated, get their timing down, or are they sitting on the couch?
Yeah, like you said, I don't know. I don't know what he's doing every day. You'd hope he'd be getting his workouts in and prepping like it's the off season still for him, but I don't know. Rodgers was on the Kay Adams show, and Kay Adams said, when's the last time you spoke to Hassan Reddick? And he said a while ago. So they haven't texted since he signed. I agree with you. It's concerning, but like Jake said, you hope that they get the deal done as late as this week or maybe next week. But again, he's not a guy that's playing in the preseason games, so it's not the biggest deal, but you want him in training camp, getting acclimated with the team, as you said. And the time is important to have him here. So the quicker we get this done, the better.
I had 2 other questions. One related to Joe Tippmann. How serious of a problem is this? Is it just a mechanical issue that once he fixes it, the problem's fixed and we don't have to worry about it again? If it's more of a chemistry thing with Rodgers, as an idea, could you put McGovern at center and then move Tippmann over to guard? Is that something that – because I still think that's at least as good an option as Simpson, right? Simpson's kind of mediocre, so
you're not going to bench him, though. There's no path to that. They signed Simpson to be their starting guard, so Tippmann's got to figure it out, and I think he will. I think we're super focused on it now because it's a new thing. So narrative is starting to form on even plays where maybe it's slightly high, it's not the perfect snap, and it's he did it again. But it's how often are we paying attention to a center snap if they have no history of having some high ones, right? So. I'm still not concerned yet. If we're still dealing with this at the end of August, then I think it's a problem. But I just have a lot of faith in the player. I know Rodgers has a lot of faith in the player too. I'm not going to say it's a concern.
The last thing I wanted to ask was there's been reports out in both camps that Spencer Rattler and Joe Milton look spectacular. They said that Joe Milton is outperforming Drake May. I remember there was a caller pre-draft that spoke highly of both those guys. Andrew, you're the quarterback guy. Your thoughts on that? And was that guy maybe mocked incorrectly? Was he mocked a little too soon?
So I'll tell you about Rattler because I have seen that as well. I was high on Rattler. I was pretty aligned with you there. I would have taken Rattler over Travis. I would have. Obviously, Rattler went a lot earlier. Milton, I kind of saw that stuff, but I also saw that Drake May is playing really well. So do I think Milton's going to play anytime soon? Honestly, no. And I think Drake May is going to play, and I think he's going to be a good player in the NFL for a while. Rattler, I think, could play at some point this year, and I think he would play well. I like Rattler a lot. He's going to be someone I watch a lot in preseason. But as for Milton, the jury's still out on him for me. I don't know how well he's going to play and if he's going to play at all, to be honest.
Yeah, and like if Drake May plays, then obviously Milton's not going to play. They got drafted by the same team, but my point was there was upside in Milton, and we were close to in lockstep on Rattler, except I said Rattler is better than Caleb. I said he was the second best quarterback in the draft.
Right.
And
wait, so who is your number one?
Drake. But I don't know. Like I think Drake will have the best career of any. I don't know that he's ready, and like that might be fun for the Jets week 3 because I like Drake, man. I think there's a lot of upside there, but I still think he's really, really raw, and that's why they got a veteran backup. But I thought they were going to start him, but I guess they're just going to go with Drake week 1. It appears.
I throw the kid in the fire 100% of the time. I think reps are the most important things. Like letting him sit. I know it worked out with Mahomes that one year, but there's not a long list of guys that have sat and for a long period of time and then ended up playing well. Honestly, the only two I could think of are Mahomes and Jordan Love. And obviously Jordan Love sat for an extremely long time. But I think you play the kid right away and let him get the reps because that's the only way they're going to get better and learn.
And the thing about Mahomes was he had taken very, very few, very limited snaps from under center ever in his whole life. He never did it in high school. Right. And it wasn't until his last few games where Texas Tech was kind of out of it and Kingsbury set up some sets so he could take snaps from under center, but he had really never done it throughout his college career either. So there was an acclimation period that Mahomes had to go through. Like if you watched him, you knew that the talent and the upside was tremendous, but like he was raw too. Like he was super raw at Tech. So there was a process that he had to go through to adjust to being an NFL quarterback.
Hennessy Heisman says, "Are we keeping receipts on Gary's scouting?" Oh,
we should. We should.
Especially how Brock Bowers acclimates to the NFL. Is he going to be the greatest draft pick of all time?
If Joe Milton is a Pro Bowl quarterback and Brock Bowers sucks, how did I do? Just out of curiosity, how would you rate that performance?
You hit on one, you got one wrong.
Give me a grade though. Like if Bowers is Jason Morrow, but Joe Milton is John Elway. How did I do?
What was your prediction for Milton though? Like where did you think he should have been drafted?
No, I just would have took him when the Jets took Travis. That was all. I would say if you're gonna swing on a day 3 quarterback, take Joe Milton. That was all I said about Joe Milton. That turned into Gary thinks Joe Milton is the greatest thing of all time.
Well, I think it was more the big fella hitting you on that because he's a Tennessee fan and Milton pissed off a lot of Tennessee fans with his inconsistency.
He was still better than AR-15 in college. You can check the numbers. He was. So, and AR-15 was what, the fourth overall pick in the draft?
Yeah. All right, Gary. Well, Thank you for your time. And just note that your teddy bear that we ordered for your wonderful daughter, Decker, should be arriving, I believe, today.
Oh, for real? All right. Decker's going to be excited. Appreciate that.
You got it, Gary. All right. You have a great day.
All right.
Chicken with pasta is worse than peanut butter with sandwich.
Thank you. Forgot to get rid of you, Gary. Thanks, Gary. Let's see. AZ Jets with an Asmaniac super chat. We've only added 5 members this show. Someone that wants to step up for the people. We got a lot of people still watching live right now, 350. You can smell the channel memberships. They're out there. Make sure you turn gift receipts on. You never know when someone might make it rain. Please, God, let AVT stay healthy this year. The road to the Super Bowl is behind this O-line. Brees going off this year. Purdy is going to die. Laugh emoji. AVT is probably one of the more important players on this offense. If you could guarantee like the health of anyone, obviously one is Rodgers. I think you could probably argue Garrett Wilson might be 2 just because of the thinness behind him. But you could say AVT is right there because if Tyron goes down, which he's not playing every game, we know that, you have Olu, right? If Morgan Moses goes down, you have Olu, you have Carter Warren, you have Max Mitchell. Like these guys have at least played. You lose AVT. We've talked about how thin the interior depth is. That's a big blow. So AVT is so important because he's so good when he's out there.
Agreed. His health is paramount, and I think people have soured on him because of his injuries and have forgot how good he is when he's on the football field. But he was one of the best players for us. He was a Swiss Army knife. He played all over the offensive line, wherever needed him to play, and he stepped up in every position he played in.
Dano says, do you think McGovern can raise our interior offensive line depth floor as he watched? I mean, maybe he's still coming back from injury, and that's why he remains unsigned for everyone. Because, like, think about it. It's not that it's just the Jets who haven't signed him. No one has signed McGovern to this point.
Yeah. I don't know if he has offers out there, but, again, he would raise our depth, obviously. We talked about it earlier. The depth is not great behind our guards and centers right now. So I see it as a no-brainer, and maybe it's something like we talked about that'll happen closer to the season.
An update from Jets camp. I want to get your thoughts on, Andrew. Olu Fashion has been working exclusively at left tackle, but he could get some right tackle reps at some point in camp, according to Robert Saleh. I like this because, to me, I've always felt like eventually this would happen. So if Morgan Moses does go down, Olu, who's been so good at left tackle, you want to cross-train him so he could be your right tackle so you could play your best five no matter what.
Yeah. If he can be a real true swing tackle that could play either the left or the right side, that's huge because Tyron Smith and Morgan Moses, it's hard to predict that they're going to be out there for every single game this year. So having a guy like him instead of Max Mitchell, obviously you want someone who you invested a high pick on. And obviously we feel very good about Olu. His ability to play on both sides will be huge. So I would love if they start giving him reps on the right side as well.
Some updates from practice here. Tyron Smith dealing with tightness, should be back tomorrow. So another, let's be cautious, veteran rest day for Tyron Smith. Will McDonald apparently blew up a play that would have been a sack of Aaron Rodgers. So I like seeing that from Will. He's a guy, you talked about this earlier, Andrew. We could get more into it on Thursday when you're on. Players to watch in the first preseason game. I'd be very surprised if Will McDonald is not playing. He needs the reps. So I hope they play him, and let's see what he can do.
Yeah, I definitely think he'll play on Saturday and throughout the preseason. I think he's going to flash in the preseason and get everyone excited. And I could even see people being like, hey, we don't need Hassan Reddick, which isn't true. But I think Will is going to be really, really good for us this year in a situational pass rushing role. And, yeah, like we said, Brownlee is a good guy to watch in the preseason. McDonald's going to be a good guy to watch. I think Sherwood will get a lot of reps. I'm interested to see Chaz Surratt at linebacker as well. Maybe even Jaden Key at safety. I'll be intrigued by. So yeah, there's a lot of for as little of the starters that are going to play. There's a lot of players that are still definitely worth watching for us Jet fans in the preseason.
You got time for one more call?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jay Graves is on the line, a member of the esteemed 4% female demo. What's up, Jay Graves?
Hey guys, what's going on?
What's up, Jay Graves?
Hey, Andrew, I just want to say last week when you said I was Noah Ball, that made my day coming from you. So I appreciate that.
Yep, definitely.
Just want to say, kind of piggybacking back when you guys were talking about Sherwood, I'm pretty sure, I think it was 2 years ago, Mosley went down for a game or two, and I'm pretty sure Sherwood had the green dot. Mm-hmm. It wasn't Quincy. So I think that has been the plan, like you guys were saying. I think, CJ's getting older. Not that he's getting bad, but he's getting older. He's got to retire sometime. I just think they're going to build up Sherwood to hopefully be that Mike Backer spot.
Yeah. That definitely says a lot that he had the green dot. And for people that don't know, that means that he was the play caller and handling the defense and getting everyone set. So, yeah, I think that tells a lot. And, I haven't heard so much about them being high on him. I've heard, the Jets are so high on Tony Adams. The Jets are really high on Xavier Gibson, Jason Brownlee. You don't hear much about Jamie Sherwood. So seeing him.
We did. When we first drafted him, you heard a lot about him. He kind of faded away into the background.
Right. So it's great to see that he's playing so well in training camp. And obviously he was a 5th-round pick in 2021. So not always you have huge high hopes for that guy, but he played special teams last year majority. And I think he's now ready to step up if either linebacker were to go down.
Yeah. The other thing is kind of piggybacking off that, the lower draft rounds, I totally believe in Joe Douglas. I mean, we've had a couple misses like Elijah Moore. Even though it was in the late round, second round, you thought we would have got more from him. Michael Carter, the running back, I really liked him. I thought he was a good guy. Then he had that sophomore slump and kind of never recovered. Ashton Davis, another one that we were kind of poo-pooing on. Now he's running. I'll never forget last year. We were playing, but when he just I think he took the left tackle or maybe the tight end that was chipping, and just took him and shoved him right back in the quarterback and got that. It was a a safety.
The safety.
Like
yeah.
he's a monster when he wants to be, man. So I trust in Joe in our late pick rounds. Like even Clemens, I was high on Clemens, but man, the last 2 years, I know he gained some weight, but I was hoping maybe he'd bounce back this year because Clemens was a beast that first season. I really liked him.
Yeah.
So I trust in Joe Douglas for our later round picks. Like we don't, when we have our old like Tannenbaum, like they were a waste. You might as well just have one first round pick and who cares about the rest. So if we're developing players, that's a great sign. But I don't remember the last time in my lifetime we were developing players. So that's really all I got for you guys. I gotta head off to work now. But thanks for taking my call, guys.
Jay Graves, all the love. Great call by Jay Graves. I got one more question for you, Agent, before I say goodbye to you, and we'll see you on Thursday to give your takes on the commies joint practice. Jesus Jerry wants to know, when getting a fake ID, did you have more options other than Muhammad and McGovern?
Good question. I got a fake ID so long ago, so that was a really long time ago for me. But man, I remember that if anyone remembers getting fake IDs, it's a lot. It's very stressful. Using them for the first time, stressful. You think you're gonna get caught by the cops and stuff, but yeah, good question.
McLovin or Muhammad? Question from Carly: is Fialkow coming on the 17th? Are you joining us at T-Squared Social? Where, by the way, I just got this email from my friends at ESPN New York. I can confirm all guests in attendance at the T-Squared Jake Asman Show as Maniac Watch Party on August 17th will have a chance to win an autographed football signed by Garrett Wilson. That's our big giveaway that night.
Yeah, I'm hoping to be there. Hoping to be there.
The plan is for Fialkow to be there.
Yep.
For Vman to do the halftime show, and for the Bobby Midnight program to be on every TV.
That'll make me come even more. So,
oh man, that's no ghost. Is everyone wearing their Gormani tanks to this event? I'll tell you what, you come wearing the Charles Gorman tank, and I'll buy you your first round. I love it. Wear your Asmaniac gear to T-Squared. Saturday, August 17th. Andrew, you were the man. Look forward to talking to you a little bit later this week. I'll see you in person on Thursday, so I can't wait for that.
Yep, excited to meet you. And anyone else that's there, I'm excited to meet you guys as well. I cannot wait for Thursday. I've been really looking forward to seeing this and the Jets having a joint practice against another team. So appreciate you as always, Jake.
I love it. Andrew Fialkow doing a great job on Twitter at @afialkow21. Read his work on Jets X Factor, jetsxfactor.com. Tom says the Gorman tank shall be worn. I love it. Let's go, Tom Ace. Tom, I want you to know I'm headed over to T-Squared Social later today. They were nice enough to invite me to their event that they're doing with Talking Yanks. They're doing an event with Aaron Boone later. So T-Squared was nice enough to invite me because we're doing our event, obviously, later this month. And the Yankee polo that you gifted me after the practice on Saturday, I want you to know I intend to wear it later today. So thank you to the great Tom Ace, who is real, folks. He's not just a funny, witty guy in the comments. Let's see. Pittsburgh Mike says, Charles is all business. Don't even try and crack a joke with him or else. Look, I did a lot to try and get Charles to come on Wednesday to the East Hanover meetup. He says he's coming, Pittsburgh Mike, so don't jinx it, but I think we're going to get Gorman there. Dan says, how about them Yanks? How about them, baby? Time to get hot. Let's go. Playing a bunch of bad teams. Great win yesterday after the 90-minute rain delay. LeMahieu showing a pulse. Time to get hot. Let's go. Proud New York Jet fan says, did ESPN also push kids out of the way to get the ball autographed? Asking for a friend. That friend is Carly. Look, nobody bullied more 8-year-olds on Saturday than Nick Shine, folks. All right? I saw, like, moves in wrestling I haven't seen since the 80s being done on some of these kids. People being thrown over railings, people being thrown into bleachers. And Nick Shine was making sure that Breece Hall signed his helmet. That's all I'm going to say. Kids were yelling for their moms, and Nick Shine didn't care. He was determined to get Breece Hall to sign his helmet. Tom A says, perfect formal wear for that Poon event. It really is. Tom Ford says, Jake, love the bucket hat. Thank you, Tom Ford. If you want the same hat It's in our merch store, jakeasman.com. We have them in black and white. So it's coming. Summer drop on Friday. Patreon users, 15% on every item. And truly, I can't say this enough. I try to say it as much as I can. Everyone who bought merch, I'm blown away by the support. So thank you to everyone. Truly means a lot. You know, it's been 3 years in the making for this store. We finally did it, and it's been incredible. Tom A says, Nick utilized a few impressive swim moves to penetrate the line. It was legit, man. It was like if you combine the pass rush capabilities of Quinnen Williams and Hassan Reddick. That was Nick Shine tossing these kids out of the way to get autographs. Ladies and gentlemen, the Gusbuster hotline remains open, where Dom from Long Island has called in. He's our next caller. What's up, Dom?
What's going on, Jake? Can you hear me good?
Yes, sir. We got you loud and clear.
All right, awesome. Well, I wanted to start off by just saying, one, like, the community that you have here on YouTube is awesome, and I love how everyone can reach out to each other on the Discord and, like, coordinate these events for Jet fans. And being that it's off season, I don't have too much of an opinion, but I did want to say something to all the Asmaniacs and all the Jet fans. If you're planning on going to the Miami game in Miami, let it be known there's this huge art show that same weekend, because I'm going. I got a couple of me and my friends going down there, staying for the weekend. There's a huge art show down there, apparently, that's taking up a lot of hotel rooms. A lot of flights are going, so the prices are going to go up as we get closer. Not sure if anyone was planning on going, but just something to be aware of for that weekend. So the longer you wait, probably the prices will go up. I got my stuff done, but just a PSA to all the Jet fans and Asmaniacs out there in case anyone's thinking of making a trip.
Good tidbit right there. Yeah.
That was pretty much it, though. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, Dom, I appreciate it, man. That's a big time PSA for the Asmaniacs.
Yep, just a little piece of information. And other than that, really excited for Jermaine this year, but I didn't have too much of a football point. So I just want to let everybody know, and let's go Jets. Thank you.
Well, Dom, if you're on Long Island, are you coming to T-Squared on the 17th?
I would love to. I have a bartending job also I do at night, which is Wednesdays and Saturdays. So it's just one of those days that's already taken up for me, but I would have if I could. Sounds like it would have been a great time.
Hey, all good, Dom. There'll be other meetups, other watch parties this season. So look forward to meeting you in person.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Dom from Long Island, check it in. Good piece of advice there. If you're going to Miami for the game in December, book it now because there's a big art show going on and hotels are going to be booked. Prices will increase, all that. I will say I did start looking at flights that I haven't booked it yet myself. Round trip from New York to Florida, very cheap, like under $300 round trip. And there's so many flights. You can fly into Fort Lauderdale, West Palm. You could do Miami if you wanted, even though the actual stadium is, not in Miami. So keep that in mind. Let's see. Duncan says, does all the don't play the starters thing stem from Vic's injury years ago? Well, I think it stems from just a lot of injuries we've had in the preseason over the years. I don't think it was just Michael Vick. I mean, the Jets lost Chad Pennington in a preseason game. Cook what was that, 2000? Was that 05 Pennington got hurt or 03? I think it was 03. Ladies and gentlemen, M. King is back. No one's gifted memberships today besides M. King, who's stepping up for the people. He says, watch me do it all myself.
Show me the money. Show me the money! Money, money, money.
All right, here we go. We got 5 more names that are now Asmaniacs. 99 Jet, Jeremy Avali, Tony Alvarado, Sweet Baby Jesus, and Murdog, all officially channel members. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I just saw that Pennington injury I was referencing, according to Green and White Pinstripes, was the 03 preseason. Yeah. Chad got hurt again in 05. But that was it. Dick Chimney's burner brings up Sanchez getting hurt in 13. That was unique just because they had a quarterback competition that summer, right? The problem with Sanchez getting hurt in the preseason wasn't that he played in the preseason. The problem was Rex put him back in to the Snoopy Bowl against the Giants with backup offensive linemen in front of him. That's what made no sense. He wanted to win the Snoopy Bowl, so he put Sanchez back out there with guys who stunk. He didn't have DeBrickashaw or Nick Mangold protecting him then. It was a completely irrational decision by Rex. Scott Foster says a Jake Asman show without Bobby. Hey, I only could call on the people that call in. Maybe Bobby's taking a page from the Lane Train book. Well, less is more. Or maybe Bobby's busy. I don't know. Ask Nick Shine. He's Bobby's liaison at all times. Who's in the chat? More of your calls on the Gusbuster Umbrella hotline. Get yourself an umbrella, folks. Don't be like Carly, who I have sent her multiple umbrellas over the years, and she doesn't ever remember to bring it when she goes outside. Get yourself a Gusbuster umbrella. Remember to use it, and use code JAKE for a discount at checkout at gusbuster.com. JT is up next now. Hello, JT.
Yo, Jake. How you doing, bro?
What's up, JT?
Nothing much, man. First of all, Jay Graves got me excited talking about Sherwood. I'm excited to see how it's going to keep going. I really think they plan on using him post CJ Mosley whenever he's done. But have you watched the Origin series at all yet? Any of that?
Yeah, I started watching a couple of them. I haven't finished the Ruckert one yet. I watched the Garrett one, watched most of the Jermaine one. There's so many of them. I didn't realize they were dropping all of them all at once. I wish they kind of spaced it out in the off season,
Yeah, straight up right away. But I mean, I watched pretty much all of them. My DJ Reed one says it's unwatched, but I'm pretty sure I watched it on my YouTube, so I have no clue what that's going on. But dude, that Ruckert one gave me the chills, man. I'm so excited for Ruckert.
He's looked good so far from what I've seen, too. He's clearly established himself as the number 2 tight end. He's really good in blocking. We showed you a couple plays in the scrimmage where his blocking with Olu led to a big run. So I'm excited for Ruckert, man. I mean, he's going to get a real opportunity in year 3.
Yeah, I think Conklin's going to have a big year. Rucker's definitely going to be the number 2. But correct me if I'm wrong, not after this year, right? As far as contract is concerned?
Rucker's got another year left, yeah. So he was a non-first-round pick, so he signed a 4-year deal.
Right. I might have broken up, but I was asking Conklin. He's done after this year, right? With his contract?
Yes. Yep, you're right.
Okay.
Conklin, 2-year deal, free agent after the season, correct.
I think we might extend him if he I really like the development of Ruckert, man. The Long Island, the whole story, man, I love it. I'm rooting for that kid to be a Jet.
Me too, JT. I'm going to let you go because your audio was going a little bit in and out, but I'm excited for Ruckert. I'm excited for the tight end room. Rodgers will get the most out of both those guys. And I think Conklin is incredibly underrated. He's been top 10 statistically in yards and catches the last 2 seasons, and that's with nothing throwing to him, right? A traffic cone at quarterback. Think about that. So that matters. He doesn't have the touchdowns because the Jets didn't score any touchdowns the last 2 years. They've scored 18 touchdowns last season. 18. You know how hard that is to do? Well, the Jets managed to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, Jeremy writes in, this was the second time I received a membership, and I decided to pay it forward this time. A 5 spot from Jeremy. Wow. Thank you, Jeremy.
Money, 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 money.
Ladies and gentlemen, 5 more names are channel members. This is how we support the show. It is the lifeline of what we do here. Thank you to everyone who always supports the channel. Atticus Hamilton, Fernando B., Sam H., Carlos Piscoria, and Ryan King, my man who helped me move. The great Ryan King, all receiving a channel membership. Thank you to Jeremy for paying it forward. If you don't have money to pay it forward with a 5 spot, you could donate a membership for just $5. One singular membership. Appreciate everyone. If you're watching live, show's always going to be free on YouTube. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I'm trying to get to 40,000 subscribers. 2 years ago at this time, I checked my time up this morning. I had 5,000. So the growth of this show has been incredible, and that's all because of the great people who tune in each and every day. So thank you for your support. This guy's been one of my regulars for a very long time. When he calls in, all bets are off on what exactly is about to happen.
It's time for another Vman call. Hopefully he's not sleeping. Adios mio.
Hey, Jake, what's up? How you doing?
Hello, V-Man.
Yeah, no, I'm currently visiting my grandfather. I don't know if he's going to come down yet, but I don't want to go get him. I was setting up dominoes to see if we can get him to play. Although the last time we asked if we wanted to play dominoes, he said He looked at me and said, only if you got money. But he wasn't playing dominoes unless there was money on the table.
Look, your grandpa wants to steal all your money, it sounds like. I don't know what to tell you.
I know, he's always been like that. Like he was a character, bro. He was a character in his youth. But, comes with the territory. But, talking about the Rutgers thing, did you watch the Rutgers special that they posted?
I watched most of it. I haven't finished it yet.
No, I watched it. It was good. It was very good. Honestly, I'm looking forward to seeing him break out looking forward to seeing him get more opportunities this year. It'll be great because watching this offense finally have a quarterback that can actually do competent things is just going to be such a breath of fresh air. And I can't wait for it. And I am just looking forward to finally actually meeting you in person the Saturday after this Saturday.
That's right. August 17th, V-Man. Get hyped.
Yeah, 10 days away from my birthday. You guys good? I wonder, you're gonna make everybody in the bar sing me happy birthday. Hard.
Well, I didn't know it was your birthday, but it kind of sounds like you want me to get everyone at the bar to sing happy birthday to you.
No, I said it's 10 days before my birthday.
When is your birthday?
The 27th. So it's like literally 10 days.
Okay, so we will celebrate your birthday at T Squared Social.
We'll see. But man, I'm just glad football's finally coming around. The Yankees are starting to heat up, so maybe I'll give them some more attention. The Olympics have kind of been a bit of a bummer. Somebody had to do the offensive. All right, Roman. No, but
what
somebody.
Are your thoughts on Team USA defeating Puerto Rico 104-83 in basketball?
Frustrated, but not as frustrated as someone reposting the Seinfeld episode of burning the Puerto Rican flag and saying suck it brown folk on Twitter. I just found that very offensive. All right, we get it. But I mean look, you can gloat, but reposting the Seinfeld clip I think is a bit disrespectful.
I don't even know what you're referring to, but
the Seinfeld clip, the episode where he's at the Puerto Rican Day Parade and he accidentally sets the Puerto Rican flag on fire.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he reposted that and in mocking, he said, "Suck it, loser! Suck it, you pathetic brown losers."
Well, we don't support racism on this show.
Yeah, no, I thought that was just and then the other thing was, I spent the entire time watching the game. I was on a live stream thing. Every 5 minutes, I had to explain the fact that Puerto Rico has sports sovereignty to somebody. Every time. Every 5 minutes, wait, I thought Puerto Rico was part of the U.S. And you had to explain it. It was more frustrating than actually watching the game. I'm going to have to explain. Oh, look, my grandfather's here.
Oh, yes. There he is.
Yeah, no, he was in a bit of a down spirit when we didn't have the car because we just had to go a whole week without seeing him. So he was down in the dumps because he's a.
We know you know a thing or two about being down in the dumps.
All right, but I mean not in a good way. He wasn't good in the head. So don't cut the jokes out, but. So, yeah, no, he's starting to tear up now that we were able to visit him again normally.
I love it. Well, you tell him I say hello, all right?
Well, you can tell him yourself. Here, why don't you tell him yourself?
Okay.
All right, it's Jake. Say hello, senor.
Yeah. Hello, senor.
Yeah, hola.
What time is it?
He responds. He just says, ¿Qué hora? He's like, ¿Qué hora es? He just says, what time is it?
Tell him it's football season time. It's football.
Senor, it's Jake Asman time.
Yeah.
Oh, peace.
V-Man, thank you for your time today. Wonderful job.
All right.
That's the end of that V-Man call. Now he can go back to sleeping.
Tremendous job by V-Man, V-Pa, V-Mom. the whole thing. Hey, a couple shout-outs here. Shout-out to listener Carlos, who bought merch 46 minutes ago. Listener Jay, who bought merch 34 minutes ago. And listener Michael O, who bought merch 30 seconds ago. Thank you all for your support. JakeAsman.com. Make sure you check out the merch store later this week, as we will have a summer drop coming on Friday. So be ready for that. A lot of people reacting to the Vman call. Vman very sensitive to anything negative about Puerto Rico, even if it's a clip from a sitcom, which is what Seinfeld is. I don't know if Vman knows that. Anyway, what a program. Folks, before we get out of here, just another reminder that if you plan on buying merchandise, join the Patreon so you get a discount. You get a 15% discount on Patreon for just being a member. It's one of your perks. If you plan on buying merch, you're going to save more than $5. That is the monthly cost of Patreon. So you're basically getting a free month by just going to patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. Carly having the audacity to say, we're done, that's it, after I've been live for an hour and 35 minutes. The audacity to ask for more content. How dare you? Shout out to Sarah. Thanks, Jake. Good show. Greetings from H-Town. Sarah, hope you're well. Shout out to Dan. Jake, you look like the cutest baby girl in the hat. Thank you. What a bucket hat it is. They're very comfortable, by the way, I will say. All right. We need more Asman. There'll be another show today. Roughly 4 p.m., I will say. Roughly. So be on the lookout for that. But anyway, wanted to plug the Patreon. I also want to say again, meet up on Wednesday in East Hanover. Few spots remain. So if you are interested in going, RSVP with the link that is in the description. And that's it for me. Appreciate all of you. Fun show. Thank you to Andrew Fialkow, who joined us for the first hour to give his expert film breakdown on the Jets green and white scrimmage that we were at on Saturday. And that does it for me. Thank you all for your support. My name is Jake Asman. This has been another edition of the Jake Asman Show. I'll talk to you guys soon. Jets, 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 Jets.
Who was that lovely lady?
That was Carly.
Oh. Anyway.
Yep. Charles, I think we talked about you calling in and chewing on the air again. You couldn't wait till after your call to eat. You talk to me and then you eat.
Anyway,
this is a great angle for you, Charles. Even better angle. Where are you calling us from?
Burger King in Hope Lawn.
What did you get?
A BK Royal Crispy Sandwich with Swiss cheese on it. No tomato. About to finish up my fries. I'm about to have a slice of birthday cake.
Very nice. Charles, I think you should give all your takes from this angle moving forward.
Let's talk about buttered sausage. Talk about buttered sausage, where it comes from, what it does. Why is it doing what it's doing? Get it out of my face. What about buttered sausage?
Only on this show, dude. Only on this show.
It's not my jam. I don't buy jam. I buy honey, and I kiss it on the lips.
Calm your freaky down.